And now we have Susannah.
Hi, I'm Susannah, and my mother and I are a real pair. We have only recently, I'd say, learned how to kind of figure out how to deal with each other or live with each other. So here's a pair about me and my mother. I was 18. I stood under the harsh fluorescent lights in Rite Aid. On the bright blue Formica counter in front of me, there were 3 stacks of 3x5 matte finish photos. One stack was the keepers, one stack was the rejects, and the third was the maybes. I went through the maybes again, making myself deal them out, keeper or reject. You only had to pay for the keepers. There were other things I'd rather spend my limited cash on, so I was examining each photo critically. Almost all of them were photos of me, taken by my mother. I lived with my mother and my brother in a trailer park that was part of UT student housing off Lake Austin Boulevard. She and I were both in college. My brother was at Austin High, on his way to UT too. My room at the end of the hall from the living room was the biggest of the 3 bedrooms in the trailer. I'd scored the big room because it shared a bathroom with my mother's bedroom. My brother had his own bathroom, shared with a washer and dryer, next to his room at the opposite end of the trailer, past the Harvest Gold kitchen. Having grown up in muggy Port Aransas in an old shabby house with 1 bathroom, much less a washer and dryer, AC, and a dishwasher, living in Austin in a trailer with those amenities was a new life for us. We'd spent long summers in front of fans and short winters sleeping in the living room with a space heater and blankets over the doors. To this day, in even the mildest Texas heat, my brother and I both crank the AC at night in our respective grown-up homes, just because we can. Yet when I have trouble sleeping, the white noise of a box fan is the comfort that makes a cool, private cocoon so I can drift away. At the trailer, my mother had this thing where just before I went out to a club or a party, she'd take a few pictures of me. It all started because I got annoyed at her coming into my room, uninvited, while I was getting dressed to go out. She'd plop herself right down on my messy bed, reclining with her arms crossed under the back of her head. What are you going to wear? Clothes. Well, what are you thinking of? Grabbing my favorite pillow to settle in more comfortably. Not sure yet. I turned my back to pull a black vintage dress on its hanger from the closet. Ooh, where did you get that? Pointing, as though I didn't know she meant the dress I was holding. Garage sale. Did you get anything else? Not really. Thinking of the cool fishnet gloves I picked up there for $1 and how I'd wait for my mother to leave me alone before I tried them on with the dress. I usually succeeded in getting her to leave my room by doing something that was boring to watch. I'd dig in the bottom of my closet for an unnecessarily long time, or push the power button on the stereo and flip through the records like I was deciding what to play. I'd hold up an album with an unappealing or disgusting cover in such a way that she could see it over my shoulder and hopefully be repelled. The Dicks was a good one for that. When I had my outfit together and headed out through the living room, she'd jump up off the couch. Wait, let me take a picture of you. For one photo, I posed in front of my closed door at the end of the hallway, my right foot in a black patent pump on the gold shag wall-to-wall, and my left foot in its black patent pump high up on the synthetic wood paneling. If you disregarded the trailer aesthetics, it wasn't a half-bad shot, with the diminishing perspective of the hall closing in on me in my black pedal pushers, psychedelic black and white top, dark bangs, and a beret. The secret is that I had no bangs. I'd put my hair up in a ponytail under the hat and pull the ends forward to fake the bangs. When a mohawked friend figured that out one night at a show, he laughed his ass off and asked why I didn't just get a haircut. The photo of me that my mother liked best was in her high school prom dress. It was pink chiffon with a sequined bodice. My hair was teased and piled high on my head. and I went well beyond my usual simple black eyeliner, with lots of white powder, dramatic shadowy eyes, and dark gray eyeliner for lipstick. In one close-up, I'm actually laughing, versus my usual distant horizon stare. My eyes are huge and either gold or green, surrounded by the dark makeup. As this pre-departure photo thing became a ritual, thankfully my mother stopped invading my room while I was dressing. Rite Aid always gave double prints for free, and I always gave one set to her. If this was today, she'd no doubt be zooming in on her iPhone, pinching and expanding her fingers, trying to read my eyes and searching for any sign of a smile. Who knows what Rite Aid did with all the rejects I didn't pay for. I see a tree, a seesaw, the dog running. No, look, Mommy said, look where my finger is aiming. She pulled me right up close to her, grabbed my face with one hand, still pointing with the other. It hurts how her hand pinches my cheeks against my teeth. There, she's saying, jabbing her finger in the direction of the tree. I try to imagine a string like she told me before, shooting from the tip of her pointing finger and flying in a straight line. Oh, I see, I shouted, jerking away from her and running toward the bush at the base of the tree. And the bright red bird, scared by my violent approach, fluttered up and away. That's a cardinal, Mommy said, a cardinal. In my late 30s, when my grandmother was pretty much done, living in a nursing home near her least favorite but most together of her 4 daughters, I went to visit her with my mother. I learned then from my mother, not from my grandmother, that my grandmother loved cardinals. I pondered that and imagined that her sight was going and that the bright red flash of a cardinal taking flight was one thing she could really see.